Hello, Year 3, Mr. David here for this week's maths lesson number one, all about time. Monday, the 25th of January, and today's learning intention is I know how to use the second hand on the analog clock to measure seconds. But before we do, let's have a little recap about some of the language that we have been using around time and clocks. So please, can you match the words to their meanings? Each of these meanings have a word to match up to. You can use lines or you can cut them out and stick them together, or you can write them as two things next to each other to match them as well. So I will leave you just for now and be back in a moment. So please pause now. Did you get them right? Look, I should have just cut them out and put them in order because this looks quite messy. So I am sorry for that. But if you look closely, you can see that I have matched them up. O'clock comes all the way down here to use to specify the hour. When there's a when it's on 00 minutes, it is on the o'clock. But also it talks about the actual whole hour as well. For example, you could say 10 past 3 o'clock, but we don't necessarily say the o'clock in that situation. The morning is the time between midnight and noon. The afternoon, well, the clue's in the name. Afternoon, time from noon to the evening. AM, if you remember from last week, means ante-meridium, before midday. Post-meridium, PM, afternoon, it's up here. And noon, or midday, is the middle of the day. 12 o'clock in the middle of the day. I think that's all of them. So we move on to the next one. Here's a little challenge before we get started. Can you stop the clock on exactly 3 seconds? Now you'll need some sort of stopwatch for this. If you don't have one at home, you can use a phone or you can use Google actually has a stop clock on their search engine. If you type in stopwatch, it will come up here. We need to get to 3 seconds exactly. So if we have any digits here that have any numbers in over 00, unfortunately, it's not exactly. Let me see if I can get it. Ready? Go. 1, 2. Oh, okay. And then you can press reset, start again. Oh, 1/10 of a second away. I'll get better. Go. 1, 2. Oh no! That's the closest I've been this morning. I've been practicing. I'm gonna have one more go. Ah, that breaks my heart. Not exactly though. Ready? 2. Ah, no, one more. I'm getting worse. So have a little go there. Can you get to 20 seconds? That requires a bit more patience, and it's so tricky. Ready? 20 seconds. 1, 2, 5, 10. We're halfway there. 13, 14. Here we go. 15, 16, 18. Ah, so close. Okay, that is trickier because it's further away. But have a little go. Let's see if you can do better than me by getting it exactly. Don't spend too long on it. I could be on that for hours trying to get that, but have a little go. It's just a little practice, a little warm up. Let's go back to our lesson. So how long is 20 seconds? Well, on an analog clock, we have this second hand right here. It's long and it's thin. And if you were to watch a second hand go round, you'll notice that it moves a lot more than the normal ones. So let me just quickly get to our demo clock here. And if I press reset and I click on real time, so that is the real time at the moment, 2 minutes past 12. And look at our long, really thin hand here. This tick tock is every second. And if you were to count up every one of these second marks, which also double up as the minute marks, you will notice there are 60 seconds in a minute. We are approaching the end of this minute, And can you see this minute hand? It's slowly moving. And by the time this minute comes up to the end, watch what happens up here, 59:00. We've added a minute. It doesn't carry on over 61, 62. It resets and a new minute is added. Have a look at a clock at home if you've got one and see if yours has a second hand as well. But going back to today's lesson, yes, you might have noticed, just like we were saying, the second hand uses the same lines as the minute hand, except instead of going 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, it goes 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, all the way to 60 seconds where it restarts again. So actually, if the minute hand, just like down here, if the second hand is pointing down here, you can quickly count in 5 to see exactly which second it is on within that minute. And in this case, it's 5, 10, 15, 20 seconds. 20 seconds. So it's just like what we do with the minutes, only with seconds. So how long is 20 seconds? 5 at 5 at 5 at 5. How many seconds went by? Well, if we look at this clock here, it says it is 5, 10, 15 minutes past 9 o'clock or quarter past 9. The second hand is pointed straight up, so it's only just turned quarter past 9. But looking at this clock, the second hand has moved. I wonder if you could pause here and tell me how many seconds have gone by. So pause now, please. Welcome back. If you use their guide, you would have noticed that 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 seconds have gone by. Let's have a look down here at this other clock. So we have 9:30, lovely. And our second hand is on the 5:10. It's 15 seconds. We're 15 seconds into this minute. So we look at this clock here and we can see that it was here. It has now moved all the way around here. I want you to pause again and tell me how many seconds have gone by. So pause now, please. Welcome back. You may have noticed that this boy here has also noticed that we don't have to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. We could go in the quarters, which would be 15, because a quarter of 60 is 15. So we could go 15, add 15, add 15. If you know that, that would be 45, and it's a quicker way of working it out. However, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 seconds, that is also another way of working it out. It's just showing you that in each quarter of the clock, there are 15 seconds. Okay, so we are now on the guided practice. Now look closely at these clocks, in particular the second hand, where we will be saying just how much time has passed in seconds. Also worth noting, the minute hand and the hour hand, just make sure that they are both in the same place. That looks good to me. So on this one, the second hand started here on 00, and then it moved here. So can you tell me how many seconds have passed on this one, and then continue to do the next 3 as well. So pause here, please, and come back when you have written down how many seconds have passed in each one. Welcome back. The first one, 5, 10, 15 seconds. We can just put an S there, and I would understand what you meant. 15 seconds. On this one, we started on 30 seconds, but we got to 45. There was a difference of 15 seconds. Over here, we went over the minute, but it doesn't matter. We're still talking in seconds here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 seconds. And finally, we started at 55 seconds here, went over the minute. However, 5, 10, 15, 20. That was 20 seconds. So hopefully you got that right. If not, go back and have a look, see what could have gone wrong there. Whilst we go on to the independent practice. Is that just the one? Okay, so I'm going to show you just this one before you go off and do the next 5. It was basically what we just did before, but now it's up to you to fill in the gaps. However, let's do this one together. So the time is, well, o'clock, 9 o'clock. And here is our second hand. I know it's the second hand because it's long, it's thin. It also doesn't have an arrow on the end, so it makes it nice and clear. We're on 10 seconds. We need to get to 30. So it would be 5, 10, 15, 20 seconds. This one would be 20 seconds. I hope you can see what I did there to make sure that we got that absolutely right. So I will leave that to you and see you in a little bit. So please pause now and come back for the challenge soon. Okay, welcome back, and this is the last challenge of the day. Can you convert these digital times, you see them here, onto an analog clock using the hour, minute, and the second hand? Let's look closely at the digital clock. So, hours, minutes, seconds. Hours, minute, seconds. Let's just do the first one together. I'm going to use different colors. You don't have to, though. In fact, I won't. I won't. To prove a point that we can still use one color for all of them. So, which hour are we on? 10 and 23 minutes. Let's do 23 first. So we go. Have I clicked the right one? It's this one I would like. So we've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 23 will probably be about there. Probably about there. I'm quite happy with that. Hour 10, we're on the 10th hour. However, we're not exactly at 10 o'clock. We're a little bit further on now, probably about there. Remember to make your hour hand shorter than the minute hand. It'll be worth doing little tiny arrows at the end because our second hand is going to be long and thin with no arrows. 30 seconds. Okay, I think I remember that, but if you can't, this is how I would do it. 5 seconds, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 seconds. It's exactly half a minute. Wonderful. We do not have to write anything down here because we're just going to do that. And I think it's clearer on your plan. But basically the 10:23 would be here, the 5:54 and 40 seconds would be there, and so on. Whoops. And so on. So good luck with that. Please send in all your maths. I'd love to see how you get on. Have a lovely rest of the afternoon. Goodbye.